Well, for those of you who don't know that guitar riff, that's Sweating Bullets by Megadeth. And it's fitting because A, that used to be the name of the Washington Wizards, right? The Washington Bullets. But this one should have Blazers players and fans sweating bullets a little bit because the Blazers just went in to the nation's capital, stepped on their own toes, and lost to a team that entered the night with the worst record in the NBA. 115-111, the final score. The Wizards grabbed the victory over your Portland Trailblazers. Let's talk about it. This is the fifth quarter. I'm your host, Chris Burkhardt. If you want to join the conversation, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. You can hit us up on the text line, 88528, or go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, where you can join the chat over there. Give us your thoughts on this game. And again, I said they stepped on their own toes. They absolutely did in a game where they really couldn't afford to make mistakes. They made a lot of them. They couldn't get a real groove going offensively. They struggled mightily to control the ball. It was just all around a rough one for the Trailblazers. 20 turnovers in this one, converted to 29 points off turnovers for the Washington Wizards. Second chance points. Blazers had 31 of those because they were just dominating on the glass. It's something, we talked about with Donovan Clingan and taking advantage of this lineup. And Blazers had 69 nice rebounds, 29 of them on the offensive side. Again, that led to 31 second chance points. They had 54 points in the paint to just 32 for Washington. But a couple things stood out in this one. First off, those points off turnovers. 29-17 in favor of Washington. They turned the ball over 20 times. It was an overall sloppy game. And for the second night in a row, the Blazers missed 10 free throws. That's just inexcusable. That can't happen. Unless you got Shaquille O'Neal out there, which the Blazers don't. You cannot afford to miss 20 free throws over their last two games. In the last 24 hours of basketball, the Blazers have missed 20 free throws. As friend of the show, Timmy Hammock says in the text line, make your censored free throws. And that was not me censoring him. That was him having the maturity to censor himself. He wrote out the word censored in his text. At least I'm hoping he did, and the text line doesn't just automatically do it. That'd be kind of funny, too. Either way, hit your free throws. We joke about it. Bill Schonely says it all the time. You've got to make your free throws. Didn't do it tonight. Brutal. John says in the YouTube chat, tanking, unacceptable, period. Ryan says, hello, me. It's me again. Yeah, unfortunately, which is funny. Lyrically, that song holds up. It makes sense. Hello, me. It's me again. Sweating bullets. And you should be a little bit because the Blazers should not have lost this game. Full stop. No cap. What other sayings do the kids say nowadays? They shouldn't have. You came into this game mostly healthy. You don't have Robert Williams. You have Drew Holiday, you have Jeremy Grant, you have Denny Avdia returning to the lineup. You out-rebounded the team by 23 rebounds. But you just couldn't get the job done. It's those free throws, once again. You missed 10 of them. The three-point shot, they hit three more than you. Not a ton. But you turn the ball over, and you don't make free throws. Those things add up. Those things absolutely add up. Now, you look at the points off turnovers. Washington had a 12-point plus margin right there. Then you take the free throws. Portland missed 10. Washington only missed 3. So there's a 7-point plus margin. That's a 19-point margin right there on points off turnovers and free throws. And that's how the worst team in the NBA beats you 115 to 111. You got to be better than that. It's just brutal. It's 2 games really, because you can go back to that Boston one where first off they played an absolutely atrocious first quarter. They were able to defensively kind of lock in, get themselves back into it. They lost by 8 points in a game that the Blazers missed 10 free throws. 10 free throws. Let me tell you what. You got to hit it. You got to hit them. You got to hit him. Couple more chatters. Hassel the Hoff. Ride the lightning. That's right. Shout out to Metallica lovers like me who do appreciate Megadeth and Dave Mustaine, but it's all Metallica all the time around here. Got a Hood River Druid. Yo, Trailcasters headquarters looking amazing. We're trying. We're piecing this bad boy together over here so I can have this nice little home studio. Sounds good. That's great. And we, it's looking nice, a little bit nicer than the game today. But man, it's just bad. That's just bad. It's I just tweeted it out right before the show started that might very well be the worst loss of the season. Now, the positive to that is it's not the 50-point blowouts or the multiple 60-point losses that we had before with Chauncey at times. I mean, they played and tried to get back into it. Takes time, but you can't put yourself in holes and you can't shoot yourself in the foot. They shot themselves in the foot today, and it wasn't even accidental. It was just shot right there. Took a boulder, like, oh, hope I don't drop this. Oh, dropped it right on my foot. What was I thinking? Hope I don't stub my toe. Boom, stub my toe on purpose. Like, we can't. It's just that it's self-inflicted over the last few games. Boston, you could sit there and go, okay, that was the Boston Celtics. We're talking about one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. Makes sense to me. This one, again, worst team in the NBA, not just the Eastern Conference, worst team in the NBA. And you couldn't get out of your own way. Now, this is the type of stuff that should hopefully sting a lot. The type of stuff that hopefully head coach Thiago Splitter just really rams home for him. Because you got to be better than that. It's just brutal. It hurts because you shouldn't go in and lose to the worst team in the NBA. You shouldn't. We talked about the wins that they had, and a lot of their wins were over teams like Charlotte and Indiana and Brooklyn, some of the worst of the worst. Portland should not be in that category if they want to be a play-in team. Should take care of business in this one. Should take care of business. Now let's look at the individual box scores, as we like to do here on the fifth quarter, starting on the Wizards side of things, where Alex Sarr had a pretty good game. He had, I think it was 19 points in the first half, was getting it going. Keyshawn George ended with 19 points in this one. Chris Middleton had 19 points. Sarr ended the night with 29 points and 12 boards to go along with, count this, 6 block shots. That will do you in too. Well, I said in the pregame, I wanted you to attack the rim. I wanted you to attack the rim, get fouled, not attack the rim and get blocked constantly. I also wanted you to hit more of your free throws, not almost shoot 50% from the line. I mean, what are we going to do there? I can only do so much of my keys to the game. They are sound, I'll tell you that much. But I need you guys to just listen just a little harder, actually come in and do those things I say. Trey Johnson had 18 points, 5 points from Bilal Coulibaly, 11 points from Bub Carrington. Off of the Wizards bench. On the Trailblazers side of things, Toumani Camara, 6 of 11. He had 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 16 points. Solid game for him. Denny Avdia, 17 points, 12 boards, 3 assists. He was 6 of 14. 14 points, 20 rebounds from Donovan Clingan. A hell of a performance from DC. 31 points from Shaedon Sharpe. It was the rest of it that kind of stunk it up. Drew Holiday didn't have a good game. He was 2 of 14 from the field. He did have 7 rebounds and 5 assists, but a rare off night for him. Jeremy Grant couldn't get it going. He just had 6 points. He was 0 of 5 from beyond the arc. Drew Holiday, and Donovan Clingan combined to go 0 for 12 from beyond the arc. Ryan Rupert was solid. He led the bench in this one. 10 points. He was 2 of 2 from beyond the arc. He had a couple real nice plays. He was getting some steals. I mean, he registered 0 steals on here, but boy, he was worse than everything. Or excuse me, that he got 5 steals. I looked at the wrong spot in the box score. I was like, what? He definitely had more than that. 5 steals for Ion Rupert. The one I liked was the steal to the dunk, and he gets right in. I think it was Carrington's face. Like, yeah, he was not having a little bit of emotion from Rupert, which was really good to see. Caleb Love, he had just 6 points. He was 2 of 4 from the floor, 0 of 1 from beyond the arc. City Sissoko, 0 of 2 from beyond the arc, and 0 points. Young Hansen, probably the best 12-minute stretch of play he's had all season long. He had 6 points, 5 rebounds, and an assist. So overall, you look at some of those things, there were some really good individual performances. There was some really bad individual performances. Denny Avdia did have 6 turnovers. So that hurts you again. That leads to those turnovers that led to points off of turnovers and all the things that doomed you in this game. That's not much more you could say. It was a bad loss, and you got to flush it. Absolutely got to flush it. Don't linger on it. But if you're Thiago Splitter, I think you definitely got to crack the whip a little bit. You got to make this team know that that's not how you play. You got to get in there. We got the league average is nearly 78%. We're shooting more than 20% less. Can't blame refs or the other team at the line. And you can't. You absolutely can't. That's the same thing I read in Discord. So that must be my buddy Keith. That must be Keith over here with these crazy nicknames on YouTube that I'm trying to decipher who everyone is. But you're right. The free throw shooting is just, that was abysmal. And I got a text from a buddy right when that game ended. One of those, the football bums that you guys know about when you listen to the Fifth Quarter and Game Day, the guys I play the college football dynasty with. That was like, quote, "It's crazy to think Portland have about 5 or 6 more wins if they just made free throws in some of these games." And it's not wrong. How many times we come on here on the Fifth Quarter and go, oh my gosh, free throws doomed us. How many times did we get those games where it was the turnover, the inbounds pass you couldn't get, you miss a shot, other team makes it, you get fouled, you miss a free throw, ball game. Free throws. Got to hit them. Absolutely got to hit them. Take less time shooting threes at practice and just start hitting free throws. Isn't it Tom Izzo, Michigan State, who even though he's coaching would end practice by making 100 straight free throws? If I'm Thiago Splitter, we're going to practice and I'm handing him a big old playbook. I don't care if we're wasting paper here. We're handing him a playbook, and the first page is going to be free throws, and the second page is going to be free throws, and the third page is going to be free throws, and the fourth page is going to be free throws, and so on and so forth until it is ingrained into this team's head that you cannot go into 2 consecutive games and miss 10 free throws both nights in games that were decided by less than 10 points. Shams was right. You've got to make your free throws. If this one stings me, the guy who comes in here and just tries to break down the game and tries to be as unbiased as possible, even though you all know, born and raised here in Portland, I do love the Trailblazers. I don't care what that says about me. This is the team I grew up loving. But I try to analyze these games in the best way possible to understand where the shortcomings are, how these teams can succeed, why these games happen. And I watched this game, and I do not think Washington beat Portland tonight. I think this is a game that Portland beat themselves. And that one should sting. And if it stings me, it should definitely sting inside that locker room. And you would hope that against the New York Knicks on Friday, after 2 days off, which shouldn't be 2 days off. It should be 2 days of just straight free throws. You're in New York. You're in a basketball mecca. You know what? If you Caleb Love, go down to Rutgers and start shooting free throws. Show up to those classic park runs and just take over the court. Just shoot free throws. Why not? Free throws. I need free throw guy back in Moda Center just to hammer home how important making and or missing free throws are. We should all wear shirts to say, free throws. Make them. Got to hit your free throws. Got to hit them. It's about all I have. I'm done beating that horse for a second. Okay. But to reiterate, long story short, game in a nutshell. This team hurt itself. Self-inflicted. Like I said, took the boulder, dropped it on its foot. Turnovers, points off turnovers, those missed free throws. That was a difference in just a massive amount of points. 10 points that you missed at the free throw line. Washington was +7. Washington was +12 in the points off turnovers. That's almost a 20-point swing right there. And the Blazers just couldn't come back from it. Now you could argue that Denny was a little rusty. Maybe you're still acclimating Drew and Jeremy to their minutes and all that stuff, but we're not making excuses on this one. Hit your free throws. Figure it out. Absolutely agreed. Pushing the postseason this year. Pushing for postseason this year is Rushton. I don't know about that. Because Sean says games like this make my thoughts on whether we should shoot for the playoffs or not this year make me lean towards aiming for a first round pick. And I would fully disagree with that. And I've told you guys why before, and I'll reiterate that again. I think there's something to be said about winning. You have to win. You got at some point you got to get to the playoffs. And multiple times teams have made it to the playoffs, aren't really championship contenders, but getting into the playoffs and setting that groundwork is important. And I'm not punting on this season because of one bad game. And quite frankly, I think this is a good thing that it took till game we're 48 in now before I finally had the one that was, oh gosh, that was the worst one of the season. That was bad. That was bad. Last year, friends, family, well-wishers, it was within the first 2 weeks of the season that we went, oh God, this is yikes. It's going to be a long year. This one is all fixable to me. I will 100% admit that it's all fixable. And I will admit that I'm a little angry about this particular game because of the way it played out. It was just so sloppy, a little uncharacteristic to how they'd been playing a lot of these games. But I would not punt on the season or say that it's time to completely tank because of the one bad game. However, it's time to step up or shut up. You know what I mean? You got to go into that New York game against a very, very good New York Knicks team, and you better play good basketball. Otherwise, you're going to be embarrassed. And nobody wants that. This is the fifth quarter. I'm your host, Chris Burkhardt. If you want to join the conversation, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. You can hit us up on the text line, 88528, or go to youtube.com where everybody's holding it down, having some good conversations, giving me things to talk about, which is what I like the most. Agree or disagree, it gives me content, baby. So keep it up. The Hood River Druid. That's 100% Keith. He has not confirmed nor denied that in the chat. Oh, and he did. He did. It is Keith. Okay. See, it is hard when there's so much chat going on. You got to catch up. But that's just my stance. Bad loss. Bad little stretch here. Free throws, man. Got to hit him. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we still got your drive of the night, shot of the night, coach's corner, and a game ball to hand out. All right here on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio, 620. All right, now we're on break. Keith's a moron. Doesn't even know he's... Oh, so sorry. We're still here, aren't we? I'm just kidding, Keith. I love you. I absolutely love you. So glad that you're in the chat tonight, my friend. I'm over here. I'm like, that. Okay, that sounds like Keith. Who else would have Hood River in their name? I'm like, is it? Then the Trailcasters. I was like, is that really? Is there another Trailcaster fan in here? This is looking kind of fun. You guys see this? I was proud of this. Look at this. This beautiful basketball we got for Christmas. Hey, I can't hear the ads there, Shacker. There you go. Any what? Oh, snow sightings in Hood River. Look at this. Whoa. There we go. Let's turn it over. Little City Roses. Little Rip City. Shout out to my aunt for getting me this thing. She knew I was building this studio and she's like, it'd look really cool in the background, wouldn't it? I'm like, yeah, it would look amazing in the background. So thank you to my Aunt Raylene. It's awesome. This is the hard-hitting sitting here during the commercial break with you guys stuff. So if anyone who tunes in right now, they're like, what's he doing? What's he doing? And my wife is trying to hold it down. She's like, you can have a talk with your daughter if you want, because she's still being loud up here. We can't hear her. We're good. We're good. It did. It helped tip it off. Wasn't 100% sure. I didn't know. There's fans out there. This is the other thing I'm proud of, Keith. Look at this. Look at this. We got to take down the overlay for a second. Hidden in the computer. The ghoul and dog meat, because Fallout, the game and the series, absolutely TV series, absolutely awesome. hold it down around here. A little Rip City Radio mic flag. We're still here. We're like 90% done. We still got lots of decorating to do. We'll be back in 90 seconds to radio and we'll get back to the real content. But so there you go. Look behind the scenes here at Studio de Burkhardt. Who made it? Who made the ball? I don't know. I just know my aunt purchased it somewhere, but it is pretty awesome. Yeah. Keith says definitely not trying to go back to tanking. I'm not saying punt on the season. I just want him to sell out the future for a chance now. Don't want him to sell out the future for a chance now. And that I would understand, Keith, because they're still in building forward mode. So like, I wouldn't go all in because you can go get AD or something, right? Like you got to understand what you're doing. Ryan, yes, this is a home studio. I've been spending the last month or so building it. It's in my garage of all places. It's like about a 6x8 studio, put a roof on it and everything to try to soundproof it so I could do a radio show from home on days like this. So I'm not alone at the radio studio. And I must say it's turning out nice. It's not done yet though, but it's turning out nice. So thank you. You guys are awesome. We're probably about 30, 45 seconds back. Then we'll get back to some awesome Blazer talk. It seems like all the big dudes break during the playoffs. Then we pounce. Hey, that's what you got to do. Keep Rob Will healthy.
Refreshment. Choose chill. It's time for the fifth quarter drive of the night on your home of the Portland Trailblazers. 620 Rip City Radio.
And he loses it. Roops picks it up again. Now ahead to Update with the drive and the smash. And the Blazers have a 3-point lead on an 8-0 run.
Welcome back in to the fifth quarter. Just having some fun here with the YouTube check as I kept YouTube on during the break, was showing off some of the stuff here in the YouTube studio. Keith says, bruh, I've got the same ball right behind me on the wall right now. It's almost dead. Point at each other, have some fun. Marcus says, no talk radio while the car is running in the garage. That's right. So the studio is in the garage. Some of these comments would make more sense if you were listening during the break there, but there. Keith says, I just feel like there's been a lot of talk about moving the young guards on and Rob will tease JG pieces to build around Denny Dame next year. And that seems like a really short-sighted move to me. Now, let's talk about this for a second, because the topic came up during the break. And by the way, on-air producing Shacker, I have call screener up. We're on track today. I can do things better today. I'm improving over here. But no, we were talking about trades and building the team and doing those sorts of things. And Keith said he's not ready to tank on the season. He's just saying he doesn't want to sell the future for winning now. And there is a fine balance there, because obviously I think everyone defines, winning now versus, tanking and all that stuff just a little bit differently. But I get what you're saying. Like, I don't know if there's the guy out there where you mortgage everything to just go win just in the Dame window, because Portland tried to do that for a long time. Win in the Dame window, right? Well, if you mortgage that now, that Dame window's closing. Now, I think if you end up winning a championship, it's pretty good, and you'll live with it at the end of the day. Just like Toronto did, right? Kawhi Leonard comes in, win the championship. We're good. But I also understand you want this for the long haul. You want some longevity out of this. And so, yes, I would understand that you don't want to completely mortgage everything. But there are still trading pieces that will happen. Now, you mentioned specifically Rob Will, Tease, and JG. I'm going to be honest. I don't really necessarily see a reason to move a lot of those pieces, because I think if this team's fully healthy and can still do what they need to do, they can make noise. And again, like you said, I don't think they're a championship team tomorrow. But if you add Dame to the way this team's playing and Scoot, that changes a lot. Now, Robert Williams, I love him. Of those three, Tease, Rob Will, and JG, I don't want Rob Will to go anywhere. I would like the Time Lord to spend a lot more time in Portland. There's value in him because he is so good, but I don't know if there's a better center when it comes to just maximizing his 15 minutes a night. I'll gladly pay him $10 million a year to do that. But Jeremy Grant, obviously pretty bloated contract for where he is. And I think you could maybe offload that and maybe offload Drew Holiday, as much as I do like Drew, but maybe offload those guys to bring you in some help at positions in need, whether that be true depth at the forward positions and guys who can shoot and have that be their main thing. You kind of look at like what Sam Hauser did to Portland just the other night. Like, those are the type of guys I think Portland needs. So I would make those types of moves, and maybe there is that star out there you can go get with all those first round picks that you do have. But yeah, I completely understand what you're saying. I think it's a fair assessment. It's a hard balance for sure. But I do think next year you bring Dame into this situation, you have Scoot. I think it changes things. I think it changes things a lot. I'm eager to see what that looks like, which is also why I want to see, this team continue to strive for the playoffs. Now, we've seen them play playoff caliber basketball. We saw them rattle off 5 wins in a row not too long ago. But then we've seen them play, we need the number 1 overall pick type basketball. And that's what we saw tonight. The thing is, I've said this before to you, sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug. Unfortunately, 2 nights in a row, the Blazers were the bug. At the end of the day, you just need to be the windshield more often. Every team does. So it's a hard game to play. We talked about in the pregame show. You got to be locked in because it doesn't matter. It's the top 1% basketball players in the world. The worst team in the league will beat you if you're not locked in. It was apparent tonight by those missed free throws and those turnovers. This Blazers team was not locked in. Those are the things they have to fix. All right, if you want to join the conversation, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. Who's he talking to? The Hood River Druid? My buddy Keith? That's on YouTube. Just go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, and join the chat. That is where that conversation is from. And of course, you can hit us up on the text line. 88528 is the text line number. We're going to head out to the phone lines right now, though, where a friend of the show, Bryce in North Portland's been waiting patiently. Bryce, welcome into the 5th quarter. What do you got?
I really appreciated the production Hansen Yang put on the floor. I think coming into the 3rd quarter where it wasn't yet out of grasp, I don't think this game got out of grasp for us at all. From what I've watched, I felt like it was right up to if we had been more productive on our conversions, maybe like 10 possessions from the end of the game, it could have flipped another way. And I've seen it flip that way many Blazers seasons, but I really, really liked the effort Hansen Yang put in. I know it's the, I think, camera left side basket with that double tip in. But I don't know, I look forward to him and Donovan Clinton really maybe meshing, see if Robert Williams is still there. I mean, I wouldn't hate eating Robert Williams' contract to just smack stuff out with Caleb Love and City Sissoko, make a run at the play-in, just to. I'm an Orioles fan, so just absolute chaos to the Western Conference NBA play-in. I don't hate it. I hope the big Blazers fans that really seem to shout in people's ears when it matters with coaching, they don't throw Tiago Splitter out into the bus. The man has given us a pathway to 500, and I mean it got built by Chauncey Billups, and the whole scandal aside, you go back, Tiago Splitter really stepped up in a way I have not seen in my adult sporting life. I tip my hat to him, and I hope if we don't have him as like a co-head coach next year, I hope we have him as a really great offensive, defensive, split role coordinator.
Well, we'll see what happens, Bryce, and thanks for the call. I do think that you run first off a co-head coach Tell me how many of those you've seen in NBA history. And secondly, I don't think there's a lot of guys who go from being the head guy for a whole year to just like, yeah, just throw me back on the bench. I'll be the offensive coordinator. Would I like it? Sure. I love Tiago Splitter. I think at this point, though, you just give Tiago Splitter the job moving forward. Now, there's some who want to do extensive coaching search. Totally get that. But I like Tiago. I like him a lot. And you can't blame Tiago for missing 20 free throws over the last 2 nights. That's not him. That's on those players. You got to make those free throws, and you realize how pampered you are when we watch Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum go to the line constantly for the last decade and just make almost every single free throw they were supposed to take. That's where it just gets frustrating a little bit. To your point on young Hansen, Marcus says in the chat, there does seem to be a processing lag with Hansen, but not to the same degree that we've seen with some centers of the past. He does show flashes of skills, and the processing thing. I mean, he's a young guy in the NBA. You saw it with Donovan Clingan last year, and hell, you still see it with Donovan Clingan. Those times he gets the rebound under the rim and is like processing: do I go up or do I pass? Do I go up or do I pass? Oh shoot! Oh shoot! Oh shoot! Oh shoot! Not don't shoot! Don't shoot! Oh shoot! Pass. Yeah, it happens. I do think he was very productive with his 13 minutes of action tonight. Shows some flashes for sure, but he's a young guy. Bigs take a minute to acclimate to the league. And, I think he'll get there. I mean, right now he's showing me that he might, his ceiling might be just rotation big, but it's not like he was a, top lottery pick or anything. I'm okay with that. We'll see where he goes. I'm not going to say I'm out on him like some people, because I'm not. How can you be out on a guy who's barely played? But I will say this, because I got in a Twitter argument with my good friend, the great legendary Godfather Dwight James, who doesn't understand why young Hansen's making the Rising Star Challenge when he has been terrible in the NBA. Should have been Caleb Love. Now, I don't think those two are connected. I think Caleb Love absolutely should be in the Rising Stars game. We're talking about a guy who was undrafted, comes in, and he's one of the top scoring rookies in the league. He's been phenomenal. But young Hansen also been really good when he played in the G League, and that's what he's representing, is the G League. He's not representing the NBA rookies. He's representing G League rookies. Oh, but Chris, he's been playing in the NBA. Yes, but he's also played like just a little less than half of the G League season down there with the Rip City Remix. And among rookie G Leaguers, he's like top 3 in scoring among centers, top 3 in assists among centers, and top 8 in rebounds among rookie centers in the G League. So it's not as if he's undeserving. I mean, it's not as if you look at that. Oh, ooh, look at that. The G League reps, just a who's who of G Leaguers. I mean, the G League is filled with some of the best players in the G League. You saw tonight signed to a 10-day deal with the Washington Wizards, Scal BCA, former Trailblazer legend. I do think Hansen is deserving, though, for what he's done in the G League. Not to mention, it's All-Star Weekend. Let's not be dumb. They want to pull a rating. How do you pull a rating? Put the most popular athlete in China, one of your top TV markets, put him in the game. Simple. Now, he can get in there. Doesn't mean that he got in over Caleb Love, because he didn't. Caleb Love is not a G League rep. Caleb Love definitely deserved to be in too. A couple other comments. What? Let's see. The Hood River name is just throwing me off, Keith. Has it not caught on calling him Hans yet? Feels like several players were referring him to that way, and it bypasses the awkwardness about first name, last name nomenclature. Also amusing me to call someone Hans, who is definitely not as Anglo as the nickname sounds. Who is this Hans? You'll only know if you're a dad like me to 3 beautiful kids who love watching Frozen. We must go get Hans. Let's go get Hans. Who is this Hans? If he takes over a game, do you call him Hans Solo? I know it's not the exact same, but come on, Keith. I know you're a Star Wars guy. Now we get another text comment that says, it's as if they fell below 500 so Denny can get some rest over All-Star Weekend instead of playing. Well, yeah, he's still going to go. He's still going to go. I'm not worried about that. This whole 500 thing, it is what it is, because it's a good measuring stick. But I do think it's nice to say they fell below 500 rather than, oh, they're finally to 500. It shows you that things are trending in the right direction. And I think that's okay because they've been playing better. is why you can watch this game tonight and absolutely be irritated by it. Because if they weren't playing better basketball, you'd watch this game and be like, huh, well, it's just another loss. Whatever. We're one of the worst teams in the league, so you lost to one of the other worst teams in the league. Makes sense. That's not Portland, though. They're not one of the worst teams in the league. They've outperformed that. So when they play like this, it stings a little bit because you want them to play better. So you hope that on Friday, they absolutely play better. Now, we did talk about this stretch of games, though. This is an exhausting stretch of games. This was the easiest game of this 5-game stretch that saw them playing Toronto, Boston, New York, Cleveland, and this Washington team. 4 of those 5 teams are the top 5 teams in the Eastern Conference, top 6 teams in the Eastern Conference. Really good teams. Washington is the outlier. Again, why it hurts. Oh my gosh. So Dirtmock does point this out, even if it was accidentally, that the Blazers should definitely be in the trade market for Franz Wagner from Orlando. Orlando, I know. But they should be in for Franz Wagner so that they can have Hans and Franz. And then they can play those SNL clips constantly. Well, he'll to pump you up. Yes, I like that. Thank you, Dirtmock Fritz. You made me laugh. Those are great. We are here to pump you up. Also, it makes me think Mad TV, Frank Caliendo. No, not Frank Caliendo. Will Sasso. There you go. Why did I think Frank Caliendo? Will Sasso did a great Arnold when he was asked to do on. Oh God, the bed. I'm going to lift the bed. You watch this. I'm still strong. Over exaggerated and beautiful. And I just did my terrible impersonation of that onto the airwaves. I have no shame. I have no shame. All right, we're going to take a quick break here on the 5th quarter. When we come back, we're going to head to the coach's corner here from head coach Tiago Splitter. And then, of course, we're going to hand out a game ball and then go get some rest, just like the team needs to before they head to New York. But before we go to break, it's time for your shot of the night.
Live from the Coors Light Studios. Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment. Choose chill. Time for the 5th quarter shot of the night on your home of the Portland Trailblazers. 620 Rip City Radio.
Sharp drives on Johnson. Stop, pulls up. Baseline. No. Loose ball. Another offensive rebound for Klingon. Opti, 3 on the way. Carries it. Blazers by 4. 104-100.
Well, there you go. You like that? We're in commercial break. We'll be back in a few minutes. I'll sit here and talk to you for a minute, though. I'm a trailblazer. Yeah, you like that, Keith? Welcome into the Trailcasters. Chris and Keith, yeah, we're going to talk about the Blazer games. I don't like the way they handle the ball, Keith. They turn up the ball too much. I said. Will Sasso was wonderful. Mad TV. Beautiful. I'm not the best Arnold, though. Get to the chopper. You ever listen to oh my gosh, you ever listen to like there's this YouTube channel that does like the musical, so it's like Predator the musical. Oh my gosh, or Conan the Barbarian the musical. You got, oh my gosh, it's so good. If it bleeds, we can kill it. Oh yes. Gotta look it up. I mean, it's not terrible. That's the whole point, though, Marcus, is every Arnold impersonation is always over the top. And my impersonation was of Will Sasso's impersonation, which was extremely over the top. Like he told us like because Arnold obviously does that. Come on. I always think of Arnold as, you got to work the biceps and the triceps. And then when you feel it in the lat muscles, when you're doing the workouts in the gyms, that's how you get big. That's how you win Mr. Olympia. It's not for the weak. You got to go to the gym. You got to eat the diet right. You set the clock. You go. You lift the weights. You do the cardios. That's how you have the biggest arms in the world. It's not that hard. It's just the dedications. You got to work hard. It's a Mr. Olympia, multi-time, biggest guy in the world. Yeah. See? That's a little more Arnold, a little less over the top. Okay, then you just got to get the voice down. Also, have you ever watched Pumping Iron? It's a good one. Him and oh my gosh, what's his name? Why am I drawing a blank on the Hulk, the Incredible Hulk? Oh my gosh. There you go. Lou Ferrigno. There we go. The brain. Why? What a name to just forget. Lou Ferrigno? Come on. But there you go. That was my better Arnold. How much longer we got, Shacker? Thanks to both of you. Hey, Chris just got here. Did the Wizards do anything defensively on the last Blazers possession where Shaden missed to go ahead? It's more just the team just doing themselves. I didn't think the Wizards defense was that great at all tonight. So, yeah, Lou Ferrigno. I feel like an idiot for missing that. He was at a Blazer game one time because he was in town for Comic-Con. Randomly showed up to a Blazer game. But yeah, pumping iron. 10 seconds. I'll be right back. Welcome back into the fifth quarter. Chris Burkhardt here with you. Breaking down this game against the Washington Wizards. Not a great one. Jason did ask on the YouTube chat during the break. He says, hey, Chris, I just got here. Did the Wizards do anything defensively on the last Blazers possession where Shaden missed the go-ahead shot that Denny didn't get the ball instead? And the answer is it is what it is. They were trying to double team Denny a lot in this game and trying to get the ball out of his hands. They were trying to force other players to take those shots, not just in the last possession, just all game long. But overall, Jason, I just didn't think that there was a ton defensively that Washington was doing great. A lot of the turnovers just felt lazy and I thought they were beatable. That's why I still think Portland beat themselves a little more than Washington beat them in this game. Also, shout out to Jason and Marcus. We were talking about bodybuilders. And for some reason, of all the people to just absolutely mind blank and forget, I couldn't remember Hulk's name. Lou Ferrigno, of all names, was just like on the tip of my tongue, but I couldn't remember it. Getting too old for this. All right, but you heard the intro. It's time for the Coach's Corner. Let's hear from head coach Thiago Splitter.
It's really hard, and of course we didn't have a great night shooting, free throws, a lot of little things. Defensively, we were not as active as we were last night, so things that we got to get better. Of course, it was Denny, getting back after being out for a while, playing a little bit, coming back and shaking that rust out of him, and minutes restriction, all of that back to back. That's only excuses. We got to execute better. 20 turnovers, too many.
You had 31 second chance points. Obviously, a huge reason for that. Donovan Clingan with 13 offensive rebounds. What did you think of him on the boards on both ends tonight?
Yeah, again, I think he did a good job with that. But that's not enough. We got to do in other parts of the game, do a better job, and a disappointing game by us tonight.
Coach, you talked about Danny. Did you try to put him back gradually with the minutes and with everything else you expected from him, or it's just the rust that you said?
Well, he definitely is on minutes restrictions, but also I don't think he couldn't play many more minutes out there. He was pretty tired, after being out for a while, and putting pressure on the rim the whole game. So it's not easy. It takes time. Wasn't his best game, but he's gonna get better. He had too many turnovers. He knows that. We're gonna watch film, get better spacing, and go from there.
Do you think there was some kind, beside the rust you talked about, his comeback to DC, to the place that chose him in the draft in 2020?
I don't think so. I don't know. I got to talk to him, but I think he was aggressive. He was trying to do the right things, and just didn't work out.
What did you think about your guys' execution in the fourth quarter, particularly the last 6 minutes of the fourth quarter?
Well, I think we could be a little smarter with the shots. Sometimes it's, shot after shot, and Drew had a ball, experienced player. Didn't go the way we want, but, some nights... that doesn't work the way you want.
Coach, with the season more than halfway through, which aspect do you think it has its biggest improvement so far?
Learning the speed of the game, how to read all those closeouts on defense, on offense, being strong with the ball. He's getting better there. I think today he did a good job. Defensively and offensively. So slowly getting more minutes and being more comfortable out there.
Coach, okay. We talked about Danny. Tell us something about the All-Star, him being probably one of the greatest crowd choices to the bench of the All-Star. Something that you want to tell from your heart about his process this year?
Yeah, I think Danny is having a tremendous season. The jump that he has at the beginning of the season, having the volume that he's having right now and being efficient, he's honestly doing a lot for us, and we ask a lot, and he's giving it back. He's really producing for the Portland Trail Blazers. So I think that by itself should be, people should consider him an all-star.
Thank you so much.
Who is the MVP tonight for the Trailblazers? It's time for Game Balls on Fifth Quarter, live from the Coors Light Studios. Coors Light, choose chill.
There, hear from head coach Tiago Splitter. Obviously, a lot of questions about Denny Avdia because this is his return home, and he had a decent game, 17 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists. Did have 6 turnovers, though. I could do without those. But it is time now for a game ball. Who gets the game ball tonight? I got to give it to a guy who box score looks pretty tiny comparatively, but I thought Ryan Repair had a very solid game tonight. 4 of 6 from the floor, 2 of 2 from beyond the arc. He had 6 rebounds and assists, 5 steals, which was impressive and was just really making a difference. I love the fact that he's kind of felt the fire because City Sissoko and Caleb Love have been playing so well. I like the fact that he's kind of answering the call and proving his worth too. Defensively, he's good, and he's got the size, he's got the length, and he's starting to make better decisions out there. And I really like the fact that it's starting to come around for him. Again, I'm not getting it twisted. Don't think he's like an all-star or anything, or should be inserted into the starting lineup or none of that. I just think he's playing well, and you got to absolutely tip your hat to him. One of our texters says, every time I want to believe, the Blazers lose to the worst team in the league. Arg. Yeah, that's it's not fun. It's not fun. Like I said, it stings, and it should sting. It was a bad game. It was a bad game, and they hurt themselves in this one. The wounds were self-inflicted. That's for sure. And you need to get over that. You need to find a way to get better. Marcus says, I wonder if it's a confidence comfort, this thing for Roops. And I think it is. I think just watch the approach, how he's played and everything. I don't think it's coincidental that he has played better under Tiago than he did under Billups. I just think it's factual. And you could argue, well, yeah, it's year 3 now and he's developed. I think it's the confidence factor. When coach has confidence in you, you tend to play with confidence. And one thing about Tiago is I think he really proves that he has confidence in everybody and he trusts his players, and that bleeds down. And that is why you've been seeing good performances out of City Sissoko, and you've been seeing good performances out of Caleb Love. And that's why Ryan Repair is starting to play good. Again, if you have confidence from your coach, it can breed confidence in you that maybe you didn't have. And so that goes a long way. At the end of the day, it doesn't mean that, he's finally making the upward trend that you want, and he's going to be a starter anytime soon or any of that. But again, the confidence matters. Dirtmock says every player is better under Tiago. They've all been playing well. And again, I think Tiago really does trust his players. I don't think it's just coach speak. I don't think it's just, filling them with baloney and, blowing smoke. He trusts them to go get the job done. If they don't, he pulls them out. I mean, how many times we've seen him just on Shaedon Sharp's ass as he's going down the court or any of that, like all that. Dirtmock says the 5th quarter is better because of Tiago. I'll take it. Because you didn't say even if you're giving Tiago credit, you didn't say the 5th quarter was worse, and that's a win for me. That's a win for me. I appreciate that. So thank you. Thank you. But yeah, the confidence matters. The confidence absolutely matters. I mean, I know it's easy in sports terms, but just put it in terms of your guys' everyday life. Like part of the reason that, I feel I've grown in this role in the fifth quarter, and I'm still learning how to be a radio host. It's a hard job, but part of the reason I've been able to do this is because Chad had confidence in me to do the job. And I've had other bosses that didn't at different stops along my professional journey. And my talent has never changed. But if they didn't have confidence in me, then I start to question if I'm good enough to do the job that I consider my dream job. Am I good enough? They don't think I'm very good. Well, Chad trusts me. Oh, well, that makes me feel better. That makes me feel a lot better about going out there when I got the trust of the guys that I need to have the trust of. So I do think absolutely that Thiago trusts his players. That instills confidence in them, and they go out there and play better basketball because of it. Because it's nice to have a coach who has your back all the time. Not saying that Chauncey didn't. I'm just saying that it's clear that Thiago does. It's the type of coach he is. And I think it comes from that European style of basketball that he played and coached, where it's every single man on that roster gets on the court sometimes. It's the rotations and everything. I mean, that was a big knock on him early. He's like, gosh, he's going like 12 deep. It's the NBA. Who does that? It's because you got to have trust in everybody and have confidence in everybody. So it's good to see. Absolutely great to see that Rupert is starting to play some really good basketball. This is the best stretch of his career, and it's not even close. So big shout out to him. He's earned a game ball tonight. All right, I think that's going to do it for the fifth quarter, the new and improved fifth quarter, which is better in the home studio and under the guidance of head coach or acting head coach Thiago Splitter. Blazers will be back in action on Friday when they take on the New York Knicks. Tip-off is 4:30. That means I'll have game day for you at 2:30. Had to do some quick math in my head. Are you hearing the flapping ears? Coda's awake. It's my pup, my boxer. He's probably saying, Dad, I need to go out. We need to go take a potty break. So I think we'll do that. Once again, Blazers fall to the Wizards 115-111. They will be back in action on Friday, 4:30 tip at Madison Square Garden, meaning I will have Blazers game day for you starting at 2:30. It should sting, but it won't sting that much tomorrow. We're going to heal quickly. We'll get on to the next. But until that next time, Rip City, I'll talk to you on the next one. Coda, here. We still here. Coda, come here. All right, I'll talk to you later, Shaq. All right, since we're still on, we're off radio for a second. We'll get. Come here. Let's do this just for Keith. Just for Keith. Where's the overlay? Oh, turn the overlay. There we go. Coda, come on. Up. Come on. Coda. Come on. Oh, there he is. Hey, look over here. Look over there. Oh, say hi. Say hi. Come on. Hi, Keith. Hi, Keith. There you go. Coda got his screen time. Now we gotta go potty. Anyway, I only stay on for a minute to say thanks everyone. Thanks for a good show. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks for the Coda love. You guys are awesome. You make the show fun. Talk to you guys on Friday. It's been awesome. The loss was bad, but you guys have been awesome. I'll talk to you soon.